So I guess we'll go back just the working title of "Tell Me About," and this is the first ever episode we'll be doing. Welcome all the viewers on YouTube. All like two people that are gonna watch this, or at the very least, all two people that are gonna watch 2 minutes of this.
Oh, I guess then that's me gonna get capped off then.
Well, now, this is my bestest friend ever, Mr. Ben Davies.
Hello.
He runs Benzabob, Dynamic
What's
Dynamite.
up?
His
Yep.
project Pondering the Orb is something we both work on.
Yep.
And he has a bunch of other things in the works too that will
Yeah.
probably not see the light of day for a good while.
Yeah. I'm gonna say like earliest you'll see something is 2025. Don't hold me to that though.
Damn. And then, of course, to introduce myself to the YouTube crowd properly, because I don't think most of the YouTube people actually know what I do. I'm TC. My name's Joseph, or Joe, or Joey, whatever. I am a creative person who struggles very much with actually creating the creative things I think of. I
So like
have
every other creator then.
Yeah, I have webcomic ideas, music ideas, image ideas. I've got a card game I'm working on. There's so many things that just need to be done, and I am not capable of doing all of them.
I mean like you need someone to make the dough. You need someone else to make the bread, right?
That's a okay analogy, but a lot of bakers just make the dough and then bake it themselves.
Yeah, but sometimes you need a team to make a really good tiger bread.
You know, it's like looking at a professional kitchen. You need your line cook, your actual like chef, the people taking the dish out, and then there's just the quiet kitchens like the metaphorical one I'm working in right now. It's literally just me, and occasionally one other worker comes in to provide one thing and then leaves.
Yeah, that'd be me. I'm the one who delivers the food.
And not just
Appropriately.
you, not just you. Gigi has provided some help too.
I did not know that. As far as I was aware, just me.
No. Gigi provided card art. They also took over your role with the webcomic of actually providing the images, and that's why it took even longer. Oh, wait, oops, did not mean to minimize that.
I
It's
mean,
fine.
sorry, I couldn't help on that. But
It's
anyway, I think
okay.
we're getting a little on track.
Yeah, we're getting sidetracked here.
That should
Welcome,
be the name
welcome
of the podcast.
sidetracked. Welcome to Tell Me About, where the guest picks the topic and we try to roughly keep on it. What
Okay.
topic would you like for us to start with?
Well, um, I just want before I say my topic, I want to apologize to the rest of the audience if you can hear me eating. I know it's a little rude, but I
You don't
haven't
need to
eaten anything all
apologize for that.
day.
No, it's funny. No, you don't
Uh,
need to apologize for eating. It's funny.
don't apologize for being funny.
I
Anyway,
will also end up eating mid recording. It's fine.
you can tell we're professionals, but
Hey, I
my
mean, by all definitions,
no, I mean,
I'm not getting paid for this.
freelancing, I like it. Paid in exposure, shall we say? But
Lamau.
my subject for you, Joey, is I've got two choices. You can choose either A, franchises, or B, art styles. I'll let you pick.
Hmm. Both of these lead to some very interesting conversation.
Mm,
I feel like franchises ends up more negative talk, but that's just me. So I'm gonna pick art styles
art styles. All right then.
because this is the
So
one. This is the actual topic you mentioned to me when we first discussed this, and this was the one I was excited to talk about.
then we shall discuss art styles. So, what do you want to discuss, Joey? Like, what specifically do you want to know about art styles?
That is not the goal of this podcast. The goal of this podcast is you pick the topic and then find just an
I
example,
ramble.
and yeah, you pick a topic, you pick an example, and then we just go from there.
Okay, this should
If
be
you've got like
fun.
a
Well,
visual thing you want to throw up, feel free.
fair enough. Well, as someone who actually does like art along the side and trying to do it professionally, and I have been, I
You've
have
been
been
commissioned.
paid. I've been commissioned once or twice. It's hard to get people to acknowledge your art, and I can give a few examples of work I've done in the past. I've worked on a music video where I animated by myself a 2.5 minute music video. That was difficult. I've also for the same band I did the logo design for them, Octopus Montage.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to look those guys up now.
Yeah, I think they're a death metal band. I haven't spoken to them in
Ooh.
ages. Yeah, so I've done
Oh my god, they did a
different
cover of What
animations.
You Do Scooby Doo based.
Yeah, that's the most famous song. And yeah, they were very nice to work with. I will say that the hardest thing I've ever had to work with freelance wise was the music video because I'd never done animation before. That was my first official animation I've ever worked on. Um, what else?
Ah, I
I've
see what
also
video it was. It was Vendetta. Go check that out, guys.
yes.
Vendetta by Octopus Montage, the official music video. I'll throw it in the description, I guess, if I remember. I'm gonna say that about
um,
so many things in this fucking podcast, and it's just gonna be
if
like,
I
yeah, if I
remember,
remember. Yeah, I'll put it
I'll
in the
fully.
description. I'll pin a
I'm just
comment.
gonna put, I'm gonna put in the comments if you don't put any of that stuff up. I'm just gonna put down God damn it, future Joey.
I mean, by that point,
But
it'll be past Joey.
I know what I said. Anyway, but yeah, that's what I've done. Most recent commission I've worked on is so I have a friend who plays D&D. I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, as I've tried getting Joey into multiple times.
And I've tried hosting a thing for you, and then you just didn't. We couldn't keep it up past, I think it was like 2 sessions?
2 sessions on yours. I can't remember how many sessions I
We
did
did a
on
fair
yours
few one.
though.
Yeah, we did a fair few sessions with you and Gigi.
Yeah, well, I've been meaning to go back to that, but anyway, that's getting off topic. But
Yeah, that's very much off
like
topic.
yeah, but like I worked on a so certain players will use maps like online maps because you can do the fun thing about Dungeons and Dragons is as long as you have a group of people, you can do it anyway. You can do it online, you can do it at home. I prefer
Preach.
doing it in person at home. Um, but some guys obviously can't do that, and my friend who I made this for asked me to draw him a dragon based off the I want to say famous, but I don't know how famous it is or infamous it is. I'll just say the well-known anime Fairy Tale, and that's Tale with an AIL. If
Which
you've heard of it,
dragon?
Joey.
Yes, I've heard of Fairy Tale.
Yes,
I said through gritted teeth.
I've watched the entire series.
I watched up until spoilers for those of you that haven't seen it. Up until Urza decided to summon like 5 billion swords around the city. That's the last thing I remember seeing.
But yeah, that was very early on.
Yeah, I was watching it through Netflix, so they were probably. I think they only had like up until that point, and then that was all they had.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, it's a 300 episode show, specifically 328 episodes, and
Damn.
we have watched the entire series, and it is a very guilty pleasure of mine. I enjoy the hell
Yeah,
out of
even when I
Fairy
first
Tail.
watched it, I was like, I shouldn't like this.
It is a. I stand by it. It has some really good moments.
Fan theory moment, Happy is just Gumball.
Take it back. You take
No,
that
we
fucking
need to
back.
get Nicholas Cantry to voice Happy from Fairy Tale.
I refuse. No.
Okay, that would be great though. Oh god, imagine if we could get
No.
Nicholas Cantry in here.
Oh, that'd be good. If
That would
that
be help. That would.
happens,
I would love
I
that.
want to be there for that.
Oh
That'd
no,
be
if I
hilarious.
somehow get him in on this, like, you're the
But
first to know.
But yeah, I made a dragon based off the design of a dragon in the show called Anglogia. If you, I doubt you came across him yet, but yeah,
You mind
that's how I
spelling that,
designed
bud?
it. I am not spelling that.
Oh.
That is like, it is difficult to, it is difficult to remember how it's spelled. I just remember the pronunciation.
Ah, Agnolia. Agnologia?
Agnologia.
Yes. Wait, I recognize that motherfucker.
Oh, so maybe you're further ahead than you realize.
Maybe. I also did watch a movie,
Ah,
but
I haven't seen any of the movies.
The Dragon King. Okay, I know that like the whole thing about fairy tales, dragons is like they're all linked to specific elements or whatever. Why are we talking about fairy tale? This is not what this fucking. No, we need to
No,
move.
no, no, okay, but yeah.
If we're gonna talk about anime,
Uh,
it's at least gonna be something we can both like gush over.
We could go show over Fairy Tale.
I haven't watched fairy tale since I was like 14.
God damn, that's like when we just met. Anyway, yeah, so that's who I did commissions for. That's the latest commission and same as self-plugin. Yeah, I still do commissions if you
Oh yes,
can.
of course, shameless self promos. If you want to throw in all of your acts and stuff, you might as well do it now.
Fair enough. So, on my Instagram, I have a link tree that has everything on it. So if you're looking for me, you have to find me under the username of 13 Davies BE. That's Davis with an E. Um, so that then you'll find me. I am currently nearly to the end of a daily drawing challenge called Sortuary, based on the characters but that both me and Joey made together with our friend Lucas, called
Yeah,
Sorcerer.
Sorcerer from Pondering the Orb, the magazine that we're all working on.
Sorry, yeah. So, Joey, can you explain what Sorcerer is to the people while I finish this burrito?
She's a witch. I hesitate to get into the lore because unfortunately I didn't write most of the lore for this. This is quite honestly Ben's brainchild here. I'm just along for the ride, happy to contribute. Uh, from
um,
what I remember, she has a boss. She works for an organization.
yep.
She occasionally has to exercise some demons, and she has her own demon that she might have to occasionally bring out.
Mm.
I don't remember specifically what her job entails, other than just, occasionally getting rid of demons.
See, she's basically like, the best way I can describe it is she does multiple jobs but for the same place.
The same group.
Yeah, so she's like the exterminator and also like the maintenance.
Ah. Oh, she has her
But
own crew.
yeah, she has her own. I won't say she's in charge of the crew, but she's like
No, no, no,
she's
no,
good
no.
enough with it.
I would say that
Hmm?
she's in charge of a small crew, and then her higher ups have their own crews that she's a part of.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh, before I continue, I like the sound of this on a recording, so other people like ASMR noises or like this. Oh, that's nice. There we go. Sorry, I got a drink as well. Maybe we should just call this dinner time or something, man.
Dinner time with X person.
Yeah, dinner time with this guy.
Honestly,
But
at this point, we're not even talking about art styles. We're just talking about personal projects, which is fine. We can start off with all of that, get it all out
I
the
mean,
way.
I'm trying my best to stay on topic, but you know me, I ramble.
And then there's also me, who is the one that created this entire idea and is still trying to throw you off topic.
Oh yeah. So, but yeah, so that is Sorsha. So, in terms of art style for that, Joey, how would you describe my art style?
Ooh, angular.
Angular. That's a good word to
I mean,
use.
for the people at home, you can see the avatar. I'll just like circle around it with my mouse real quick. The avatar that Ben here is using is one he's drawn in his own style, and it's a very recognizable style. I will say, like, I don't think I could see a picture drawn by you anywhere and not realize it wasn't yours, or not realize that it was yours.
You can just say it sucks, man. I won't be offended.
It doesn't suck. That's the thing. It doesn't suck. It's just identifiable. It's simple, yet it's, well, identifiable. It has its own
Has its own
characteristics.
style.
Exactly, it's its own style. Segway time. Art
So,
styles.
art styles, cohesion, stories, bombs. But
Lamp
yeah,
oil, rope,
rope,
bombs. You
bombs.
want it? It's yours, my
It's
friend.
yours, my
As
friend.
long as you have
As long
enough
as you have
rubies.
enough rupees.
Sorry, Link. I can't give credit. Come back when you're a little, richer.
Richer. But yeah, no. So that is my art style, and that was
Squadala!
accumulated. It was accumulated over, I'm gonna say, a couple years, and I still don't think it looks that good personally. I love
I will vouch.
drawing.
I will vouch right now. I remember you first developing the art style in high school because
Yeah,
I remember seeing doodles and drawings you did that, while not exactly like how it looks now, very clearly were the prototype for what you currently draw. Use yeah, how you
yeah.
currently draw.
Like my one of my thoughts on art in general is that you're always improving. You're never gonna stop. It's always gonna be just you. You're gonna be always adding something to every drawing you make. It's never gonna be the same drawing twice, and it's never the same style twice. You're always learning something new. And I got a lot of different inspirations for my art style, so that's what I'm going to lead into for these other artists I'm going to promote. So, when I was a kid, the biggest inspiration for me was comic books, and one of my favorite comic book artists is Mark Bagley, who did a lot of '90s Spider-Man comics, but I remember him personally from Ultimate Spider-Man. Um, what else? David LaFonte, he's a big inspiration. He's like Western, but as I got older, because I realized my art style looks nothing like these American Western artists, and not really anything similar to the artists that we find in the good old U of K. Um, we like the biggest UK comic book I can think of that like could be recognizable to anyone. Like if you showed it to someone, it's Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd's a UK comic. If you knew that.
I remember Judge
Um,
Dredd. I've never read it, but
yeah, I've never actually read Judge Dredd myself, but my uncle is a massive fan of Judge Dredd, and like that style, like if you look at British art, it's very detailed. Like you can tell
oh
when
yeah,
like when like we're very like is that
our
the word?
I would like to just interject and say our art, I think,
Yeah.
has it's both come a long way since the
Oh
era
yeah.
of like old school punk, and at the same time, it really hasn't. Because
Yeah.
the more
It's like
detailed stuff we get in this country still looks like it's right out of the 30s and 40s, sometimes the 50s.
yeah.
And then we have
But
a lot of simple stuff here as well, where it's just like a fucking dot on a canvas.
yeah, exactly.
Modern
Um,
art,
modern art. What was it?
postmodernism.
I mean, and then there's Jackson Pollock. But anyway,
Again, I would consider that modern art, postmodernism,
mm,
because it's
I
just
mean, like,
spatters of paint.
yeah, it's like, how does this make you feel? It makes me feel confused. So you're
Makes me
not
feel
feeling
hung.
from it.
It makes me feel hungry. You used red and yellow and no other colours.
It's making me feel bloodshed. But
No,
no, like,
bloodlust.
oh, bloodlust. Okay. Yeah, that.
Yes, let the hate flow through you.
What have I done? But yeah, so it's just
Do it.
execute order 66. But like, yeah, a lot of people are very like in Britain. The art style is very like specific, lots of tiny details, and I don't know why a lot of British art is like that. It
I
suits it.
think
I
we're
will say that.
perfectionists, not gonna lie. I think it's just because we're perfectionists.
Really, that's what we're perfectionists. Have you seen the rest of the country? That's what we're.
Yeah, we put so
That's
much effort into our artwork, we don't pay attention to the collapsing social services, the austerity, the greedy government, the
uh
corrupt greedy government, should I say. Also,
yeah. I've seen.
hi Rishi, you ain't gonna last that long.
Oh boy, let's not get political now.
Oh, please.
But yeah, so that's like British art, and a little bit of that is does influence my art to a degree. But like, I only focus on really, I wouldn't say small details, but like added details that could give like a bit of backstory visually.
Details that aren't there to just clutter it and make it look more detailed, but actually serve a purpose.
Yes, like okay, here's an example. So I won't show this picture yet because it's a spoiler, but
I mean, you can show it and then I can just like cover it up in editing.
no, I mean like
But
the whole picture is basically a spoiler, so I'm not gonna show it.
that's fine. You could send it to me in DMs and I can take a look at it.
Uh, I mean like all right then, fine, fuck it, I'll do that.
Because
But
I'm not going to spoil it for everyone. It's fine.
I appreciate that, and for people at home who are listening to this years later,
Years later.
years later, if we do
Years in the
maybe
future,
see
but not
it.
many.
Well, I mean, like you always say decades. Then decades later, you find
Hey,
this
hey,
recording.
did you not hear what I said? I said years in the future, but not many.
Anyway, I'm sending you the picture now, Joey, but I'm just trying to find it on my because it's on my phone, and I'm not going for all the trouble of just
Oh,
trying to,
send it to me on Facebook then.
Oh, there it is. But yeah, no, it's just you've seen them before, but like a little detail I've added to one of these characters is I just sketched like little lines on it to give the idea that there's like really small text on him or like warnings because it's a robot character that I can
Yeah.
give away. And there's like symbols on him, like really small symbols that just
Ah,
add more detail. Yeah, you. So
I
Joey's
remember you
looking at the
showing
picture.
me the drawing on the right.
Yeah.
The guy on the left. Oh my god, that. Okay, not to spoil it for the people that can't see it. The thing on his shoulder looks like the badge on Papyrus's chest.
What?
The triangle with the lines underneath it.
Oh, oh yeah,
Which
that.
in turn looks like the badge on Starman's chest. Based Earthbound reference, guys. A game I've
Based
totally
Earthbound.
played but never beaten.
I mean, like I have never touched Earthbound in the
Oh, you
least bit.
should.
Again,
Hey, here's the thing.
again.
You own a Switch. If you have online, you can play Earthbound for free.
Hmm.
It is
But
on the emulator that Nintendo give you when you pay for online.
uh, boy, everyone's telling me to buy online. I won't go into it real, but like
Yeah, let's not. Let's not.
A small diversion though is I hate everyone asking me to buy like subscriptions to like online services.
Yeah,
The entire
no,
point of
I would.
online was it for it to be free.
Yeah, I would suggest the only one to do it for would be the Switch, and even then, there's only like 2 or 3 games you would probably use it for,
Yeah, but like
and
anyway,
it would probably be to play them with me. So
there you go. I think I found the name for your podcast there.
back on topic.
Either back on topic or call it off topic.
I feel like off topic's probably already the name of the thing. To be fair, the name I picked right now is a mix of 2 jokes, and I'm probably going to cut this small little explanation from the final video.
But like Earthbound and to a lesser degree, and I know this is going to make you.
Oh, this is going to piss off so many people. I already know where you're going with this.
No, I think you do, but like Earthbound, Undertale, and Homestuck are actually good inspiration.
Holy shit! As well. You said the forbidden word.
Yeah.
Damn. Also, you called Homestuck an inspiration for your work, but you've never even read it.
Art style wise.
Fair. Visually. I will admit, the later acts of Homestuck's art style was just glorious.
Yeah, and that's what I'd seen of it. Like
they took the MS Paint aesthetic quite far.
Yeah, like but like what was it? I was talking to someone about this the other day, but like Xenoblade Chronicles, never played it, but I love the art style of it, and I refuse to play this game, but I love the art style of it. Genshin Impact, I think Genshin Impact looks like I'm not playing it. I'm straight out of the fact, I'm not playing it, and I refuse to play it. But god damn, does it look gorgeous! I will stand by that. It looks gorgeous.
I mean, I've never looked at fucking Genshin because personally, I'm not a big gacha game fan. I've played a couple, but they've never been my thing.
Never mind. I've never played.
The closest I got was a Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, and that was mostly just because the LRs look sick because it's just an animated GIF of a character I already love.
That's another example.
Anywho, you mentioned the Homestuck art style. I'm gonna just like I'm gonna share something that I did recently that Ben has already seen. That is the Homestuck art style, but it's one of the Homestuck art styles, and it's hold on,
Joey,
this right here when it loads. So this is Sorsha, Ben's Pondering the Orbs mascot, and you can also see just underneath some more artwork I've done. Symbolic rendition. This is what Homestuck's art style looked like at first.
Oh boy. Yeah, so actually, for comparison's sake, Joey, do you think you could also throw up a picture of what Sorsha actually looks like?
I don't think I have one saved. It's not on my laptop. You could always just open one up. Nothing's stopping you from streaming one.
I'd rather just send it to you. It's less effort.
Fair. Send it through Discord. The screen recording right now is literally for Discord. So if you send it in the text. Send it in the text channel because otherwise I'm going to be opening our DMs or fucking recording, and I'd rather not.
That's fair.
People don't need to see what we talk about in private.
Oh no, they're gonna find the 6 numbers, Joey. Anyway.
They're gonna cancel us. Oh no.
Oh no. What did they cancel us for? Being horny?
Can't cancel me for something that I'm not.
Yeah, but they can try and cancel me for that.
You know, just for saying that, I've got an image to post. This is gonna get cut out of the video. There's no way I'm gonna be able to keep this part in the video and have it go on YouTube. But
go on.
No horny. No horny.
No horny. Look at me. No horny.
The fucking flamethrower.
Alright, so I'm gonna send you what I think's the best pictures of Sorsha now.
Hey, editor man, which is me, feel free to cut back in here.
Okay, so let me find a few good pictures of it, and a few good pics of her over there you can show off. But yeah, here we go. Sending it now. There's quite a few of them, and they're compressed a lot. But there we go.
Ah, yes, the sorceries.
Yeah, the sorceries.
So I'm scrolling up through these. I'm gonna scroll back down through them too. Yeah. People can pause if they want to take a longer look at these. Oh, hey, it's that guy that you didn't want to spoil by showing. Wait, he's in another of these pictures.
Yeah, he's in one of these pictures, but that's all right. Cat's out of the bag a little bit. That's a different version of him. So because they're all
They're all
robots,
robots, they're mass-produced, of course.
yeah, and there's
So the one you
different
showed me was, I think,
styles.
79, 76.
Yeah, 79. So
This guy
that's
doesn't have a number, and then the
no,
two
he
in the
does not.
background of this one also don't have numbers. And if they do, it's blurry.
Yeah, they're blurred. So like they all have different numbers and different kind of things. They used to be called Igor units, but I've changed their name now to GP units, which
Ah.
stands for gunpowder. So and
It's a
gunpowder is
dumb
the
fucking naming convention.
I love that name because I was
I don't know,
thinking
I'm not
it's
saying
so
it's bad, it's just fucking, like, brain dead.
oh yeah, definitely.
It is robot, it shoot gun, I name it gunpowder.
Oh yeah, because I was racking my brain with so many names for this character, and like I couldn't think of it. Like for a while, one was called Pyrobot, which I was like, a bit too
Wait,
generic.
isn't that the one you used for a mascot for a while?
That is my mascot for Dynamic
Yeah.
Dynamite. Yeah. So
Speaking of which, isn't that
basically,
also a baby version of him on the couch?
yeah, that's another GP. I call that a GPI unit, which stands for Gunpowder Idol. he's like the chibi one. If I ever get
I'm also,
successful, we can make.
side note, I'm very surprised there isn't one of these which is just Sorsha with 4 of these GP units behind her.
No, no honey.
Hey, who said anything
Uh,
about horny?
but yeah, so that's basically Sorsha, and she was very much inspired by like anime, Japanese, Eastern style
Pretty
art.
obvious by some of these drawings.
Exactly, my
Although I
style
will
is
say,
very
this one where we've used quite a lot of black negative space. First of all, amazing work. Just my compliments to the artist. But second of all, it's giving me big Hollow Knight vibes, and I know you fucking love that game.
oh yeah, that was gonna be one of those styles I was gonna go on to.
That was one of the art styles we were going to talk about. Eh? Oh well,
Yeah,
let's
we'll get
segue.
more. But yeah, no, oh boy, it's getting too meta now. But yeah,
This video is brought to you. No,
no.
I don't
By
have any
Rady
sponsors.
Shady Lady.
By Rady Shady.
Oh, but I actually,
For the record, I will never take a raid sponsorship.
That's funny you should mention that because
Have they
one of my
emailed you?
friends.
Oh, I was going to say, have they
No,
not emailed you yet?
no, they're not that desperate yet. But
You
I
say
have a
that,
friend.
but they are.
I mean, like, yeah, but you have to have like a good subscriber count because I have a friend who runs a like train trivia channel called Train of Thought. Go check him out. But he got
Links
a
maybe in the description.
maybe he got a what is it? He has like so many subscribers, and he finally got like he got an email from them saying we would like to offer you a sponsorship. And I remember him sending me these pics. It's the picture of that guy who's going like more and more into his chair with the red eyes meme at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just kept sending that along with like we would like you to be sponsored by this corporation. We would like you to show our game. And he's like, all right, Raid Shadow Legends. And he just
Raid Shadow Legends.
Rage Wallet.
Honestly, the only good raid sponsorships I've ever seen. Another shout out, real quick. Lythero. My man's, every time he plays Fighter Z and he gets his friend Zizix underscore on twitch.tv, Gary. Their raid sponsorships are hilarious. You can't not find Super Saiyan Broly from the original Z movie talking about Raid Shadow Legends not entertaining.
I mean, true.
Finally, power.
I mean, what is it? You, me.
We watched both Broly movies together.
We watched both Bro. Actually, no, we watched.
Oh, we watched the original Broly. Yeah, we watched the original Broly and Super Broly. We didn't watch Bio Broly or Broly 2.
No, I meant Abridged Broly.
Oh yeah, we also watched the Bridge Broly. I wouldn't call it the best Broly. Super Broly's honestly actually kind of better.
I mean,
No cap.
Super Broly, brilliant film. But I mean, like, my favorite version of Broly is still Abridged Broly.
What is a god? Oh, sorry, what is a... Fuck, what is a king to a god?
What is a god to an unbeliever?
Believe now.
Uh-huh.
So cool.
Anyway.
That's gonna be most of this fucking podcast. It's gonna be us quoting Abridged.
It's just gonna be us rambling, man.
Hey, that's good. That's what a podcast is. I can't wait for the next episode of this podcast where I have a different guest on that I don't just get to ramble with. We actually
yeah,
stay on topic.
Yeah, you're just like,
Oh god, the next guest is going to be Navin, which means it's going to be all sciencey stuff.
oh, that's not bad.
No, it's great, but like
I
I
was joking
am
at the
not a
end,
scientifically minded person anymore.
No,
I
I'm
am
just
not
like,
intelligent.
oh, I am not intelligent in the slightest, but I'm just like that meme of Breaking Bad. He goes like, yeah, science. That's the
Science,
thing.
bitch.
Yeah, science, bitch. But yeah, no. Back to Dragon Ball. Actually, on Akira Toriyama, also another big inspiration for my art.
Love the guy.
Yeah, brilliant. Although I wish he paid more attention to his canon from time to time. Like, that's a thing.
He has less of
I
an
mean,
issue with that than Araki does.
I know. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, I felt like recently, I feel like we're in the age of validating canon now in a lot of like very popular
Law,
cultures. Because you're
but at the
like,
same time, we don't
because
need to. Like
we don't
that's
need
the thing.
to.
Dragon Ball, and I guess to an extent you could argue JoJo, a shonen anime, and the whole point of them is progression, getting stronger, your friends helping you move further and further beyond. And for
Yeah,
that to happen, you don't really need a consistent plot or lore. Like, it's great to
I mean,
have, don't get me wrong. It is great
yeah,
to be
yeah,
internally consistent, but
yeah.
occasionally retconning something because it doesn't fit with how the show currently works or the current power scaling, it's whatever.
Yeah, but it's not just that. I don't
Like,
mean like small little things.
like
I mean
Super
like
completely
big things.
decanonizes the entirety of GT. And
Exactly.
the
But I
end,
mean, like,
technically also the end of Z. Lest people forget.
lest we forget. But
Lest we forget, the end of Z is Goku going off to train Oob, and he doesn't use, like, Ultra Instinct or Super Saiyan God at any point, because back then they didn't exist, and now they do.
that's like, yeah, that's the hard thing about
Also,
retconning.
Black Frieza. Ah,
We done. Hold on a minute. I was
ultimate
trying to get
power!
away.
Now I can say the N-word!
No, we ain't going there.
I can't let you do that, Frieza! It's not your word!
It's not your word. Frieza, it's not your word. But,
Ah, but you see, monkey, I have the ultimate power. Melanin.
I can see someone
Here
like,
with my
bringing
homie,
this back up to
Goku
me.
Black, who's actually black.
I was expecting
Black Goku. Instead,
Black
all I got
Goku.
was Dark Goku. Mega Goku. Ukag.
Ukag. Are
You
you dead?
done? Goku is the new black.
But yeah,
Again, this is
yeah,
just gonna be us fucking quoting a bridge, isn't
yeah.
it?
I'm trying to get away from it. It's like sweet.
Every single time we get dragged back in.
It's like trying to get out, and they just pull me back in.
Every time I think I'm done, they sucker me back in. You son of a bitch, I'm in!
But yeah, no, it was. But yeah, like that's the thing. Like, I will get back to art styles, but like the lore thing I was on, like I feel so validated as a Sonic fan recently because the latest game,
Does not have law.
no, it does.
Oh no!
Yeah, it does so many callbacks. It's like a Marvel game where they like.
But they
Easter
already
eggs.
like, and they already kind of clarified that every Sonic game isn't part of the same timeline. How can they now go back and just reference all of them?
Because well, they've changed it again. Where now every game does have a form of canon now.
Oh god! So does that mean
So-
Sonic and the Secret Rings happened? Does that mean that Sonic and the Black Knight happened? God damn it!
Yep. I stand by Sonic and the Black Knight story-wise. I hate the game, but I love the story. But,
Secret Rings was just ass. I remember trying it as a kid and getting to like level 2 and just being, this isn't fun.
Nah, it's just.
And that's
I mean,
coming
like,
from someone that enjoyed Smash Bros. Brawl. Like, it has nothing to do with the speed. It was just that the game was not fun.
It was no good. But
That's no good.
that's no good. But yeah, no, like oh yeah, that's another.
First,
thing
you
as
say no. Then, you get the hell out of there.
well. First you say no, then you say get a restraining order, and but imagine if we do make it big, Joey, and then someone finds this.
I mean, if we make it big, I'm advertising the fuck out of this shit. People need to know that we are just human.
They're just like,
We're
"We
just
need
as-
to know the truth."
We're just as human as the rest of you guys, don't worry. We also happen to have poo brain.
We also like we don't know how we got here, but yeah.
Why are we
Tyson
still here? Just to suffer.
Tyson
Every
has
night,
ice.
I feel my leg.
But
Nope.
no, like Tyson Hess. Back to art styles. Tyson Hess is a Sonic artist, but also does a bunch of different other things. And he was also another inspiration behind my style. Like the eyes were a big inspiration from him. Like my eyes for art style came from him. Yeah. So Tyson Hess, Mark Bagley. I can't remember
Hopefully
the
not Ken
name.
Penders.
Oh fuck. Ken
Hopefully not
Penders.
Penders.
Not Penders. Fuck that guy. But like
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna show some Penders artwork real quick.
No, don't do it.
I have to. I'm sorry, brother.
No, brother, why? But yeah, what was it? But I was also Akira Toriyama, Tyson Hess, Mark Bagley.
I'm sorry, but like the fucking first result I saw, I'm just gonna share. I've got to share this.
No, you don't.
It's so bad. It looks so terrible.
Please, no.
Let me just open up my streaming to the browser real quick, because again, I'm just recording my Discord window. I'm not like screen capturing. Just look at this shit.
Thankfully, I'm not looking.
So yeah, this man right here single-handedly tried to ruin Archie Comics. Just put. It's like, come on, how do you... I get it, Sonic is hard to draw. He's not exactly like an easy design. He's not an easy design, even though kids can draw him quite easily. But, like, just how do you fuck up his face that much?
Wait.
It genuinely, it looks like this shit.
Wait, I've got something. I've got something for you to search. Can you type in Archie Super Tails?
Super Tails? I think I've heard about this. There's also Chaos Knuckles, which is just he's green now.
Yeah, he's green.
Which I'm pretty sure was also like, oh my fucking god, it's this guy. Yes.
Yeah, that's Archie. That's Super Tails.
I've seen that picture. I've seen that picture. I've also seen this one.
Oh no!
I have to show off Chaos Knuckles too.
I bet Chaos Knuckles looks better than this.
It's just Knuckles but green.
Oh, original OC.
Knuckles is just green. Just for a while, he was green. Yes, of course, the Archie comics when Knuckles shoots his eye lasers at Super Tails.
That was an interesting ride.
Let's also just quickly make a quick just note. Yes, Knuckles dies in the Archie comics. Knuckles departed last month. Don't worry, he got better.
Don't worry, he got better.
Rad Red being dead doesn't stop him having his own comic line. It's the hit series Afterlife.
But yeah, Tyson.
Yes, you get to see what I was watching on YouTube. I'll end the stream. I'll end that stream real quick.
Oh boy! But
yeah, I was watching Greyfruit. Another shout out, just whatever.
Nothing wrong with
the Fruitman.
But
love me the Fruitman.
Akira Toriyama, Tyson Hess, Mark Bagley. I can't remember the names of the mangakas who drew and wrote these mangas.
Hidehiko Araki would be a good one to talk about, because his art style did change quite a lot over the years.
What, JoJo?
Yeah. I mean, just looking at from, like, part 1 through to part 4, like, that's a huge change.
Yeah, but, like, a big... I will say this, and I know I'm going to get a bunch
He went from everyone being a beefcake to everyone being a twink.
Yeah.
The year of the twink is over. Now it is the year of the twink.
God damn it. But I think his art style was at least in, like, the style of, like, the anime, because I haven't actually read the manga all the way through. I
hate to admit it, but yes, I am a filthy heathen that only watches the anime and has not read the manga. My terrible 2 brain cells struggle to keep focused when reading stuff like that, so...
I mean, sometimes there is, like, a series or franchise where, like, you can't bring yourself to look at the rest of it, but a part of it you do. Like, for me, Joey, I don't know how much about this series you know very well, but I have recently gone into the Fate franchise.
I have not watched any Fate.
It wasn't what I was expecting when I was going into it. It sounded like a very straightforward premise.
Isn't there, like, 5 different fucking seasons?
There is, I'm not gonna get into the timeline. You think?
Yeah, let's not like spoil an entire anime for people. We've already done enough. We already quite literally spoiled the end of Zero. Which, you know what? It's like a 20-year-old show. Who gives a shit at this point?
I will say this though. Like, you know how you always like. Don't talk about it because I know once I say these words, you're gonna want to go on a tangent of it. But try your best to resist. Try your best to resist, please.
I'll try. It depends on what it is.
As soon as I say the words, I know you'll like try your best to like close your mouth. So I want you to cover your mouth for a minute.
I'll stuff my mouth with e-cigarette vape. It's fine.
All right, then all right. So you know how there's multiple timelines in Homestuck? Uh,
Yes.
Fate is like the closest thing that weebs I think will ever get to when it comes to timeline. I'm sure there's other anime that's just as bad.
I mean,
Even worse.
there's timeline shenanigans and all sorts of anime.
Yeah, but I mean, like Fate has so many because of so many franchises. It's got a multiverse, and it's really baffling. But the basic premise of every show, this isn't a spoiler. The basic premise of every show is there's something known as, it's more of a contest than a war, but they always use the word war. There's a Holy Grail war, so everyone's trying to fight for the Holy Grail. It's like a
So it's Steel Ball Run.
sure.
It's Johnny Joestar.
No.
Yes.
No crossovers. No.
It's Steel Ball Run. It's Johnny Joestar. They're all looking for the corpse parts.
They're trying to find. They're all fighting for something known as the Holy Grail, and there's 7 people who summon 7 different classes of warrior to be their servants to fight for this Holy Grail.
I take those warriors are from like different universes or whatever.
They're actually like heroes of legend. So
So I'm assuming at least one of them is King Arthur, because
Yep.
usually tends to be.
Yep.
Is there a Genghis?
A Genghis.
A Khan.
Oh, Genghis Khan. No, it's not. It's not usually that kind of thing. It tends to be more like, instead of real people, it's more mythological figures.
I mean, you say that, but King Arthur was, in all likelihood, a real king that just happened to have a legend about him.
But this one,
Listen, watery tarts throwing swords out of lakes is no basis for a means of government.
But the entire point of it is, it's based off like, in the Fate world, like in the entire multiverse, like the history of the world that Fate takes place in, all the mythology happened. It's just it was lost to time, from what I can gather. I've only ever seen Fate Zero, and I've seen Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works, and which is like, I've been told is the first 2 you need to watch before you get into anything else of it. But I know enough about Fate to have somewhat of an opinion. Not enough for me to call myself an like all in all fan. I do like it. I'm not like dead set on enjoying it yet, but it's like,
Yeah, there's very few things you can like sit down and become a genuine lore master in. Typically, each person only ends up with one franchise like that. And I'm going to take a wild guess and say yours is Evangelion.
Oh, don't get me started.
Actually, real quick, I hate to interrupt. We were supposed to be talking about art styles, but we've just ended up talking about anime and lore and plot. So do you just want to make that the topic of this episode instead? Just talking about media.
Sure.
We'll talk about media we like.
In the thumbnail, it'll say art style crossed out, and then just like a picture. Like,
Yeah. I'll have to make the thumbnail as well. Shit.
It's alright. You know what?
Or you can contribute to it. No. Contributes to the thumbnail, but I want to put together the whole thing.
Fair enough, but I'll just draw like a cartoon, me like
holding a giant pen.
Holding a giant pen drawn over, saying art style with me, it was me saying anime, and then crossing that out and saying media.
Yeah, because it's not even just strictly anime, because we're gonna get derailed and talk about games and stuff at some point. I can already feel it. I mean, we do need to jump back to Hollow Knight at some point, but
yeah,
not for right now. But yeah, you're like a lore master with Evangelion. The only franchises the only franchise I would consider myself a learned scholar in is something that you quite dislike.
I don't dislike it.
Homestuck.
I don't dislike Homestuck.
It's just you can't be bothered reading it.
And
that's fair.
I'm saying this as like someone, like as a fan, like looking from the outside in, and I'm a Sonic fan. I know how bad fandoms can get.
You're also an Undertale fan, so
yeah, so I know how bad fandoms can get. The Homestuck fandom scares me.
You see, that's the thing. It shouldn't anymore, because the Homestuck fandom is mostly dead at this point. Not to shit on the people or deny that people still make content, but far from it. I've seen recently quite a resurgence in Homestuck content on YouTube, and I'm very happy about that, because it reminds me of the good old days, back before Escalade, and during like the Gigapause and the Megapause. Excuse me while I go down memory lane.
But
No, it's like
I don't mean.
I get it.
I
You don't dislike it. It's just something you don't want to bother getting into because
yeah.
the fan base and it's just a lot of content. Like,
Yeah, it's not just that. I mean, like, I don't want to sound like I hate the fan base or anything. Far from it. They just scare me, man. Like, I've seen a lot of like Homestuck art, like, because you send me it, and I'm like, that's really well made. And like, this is how it feels to be like someone looking from the outside in for a Sonic fan. The Sonic fan base is also scary, but
but it's
they
also
make
full of
really good
amazing
art.
people. Yeah,
Yeah, but it's just
uh,
the loud
the Homestuck
minority
fan
that
base
are
in
annoying.
particular was actually quite hilarious how it went because when Undertale came
Yeah,
out, because Toby Fox, of course, made music for Homestuck and occasionally
yeah,
did some artwork for it too. I'm pretty sure. A lot
yeah,
of the Homestuck fans, because I'm pretty sure at the time Homestuck was on hiatus, they all
yeah,
flooded Undertale immediately.
yeah.
And
Well, didn't you get into it because it
oh,
was related to Homestuck?
kind of, but also kind of not. I got into it through watching the Let's Plays on YouTube, and then I found out Toby Fox also made music for Homestuck, and I was like, oh, hell yeah! But
But yeah,
no, it's, a lot of the Homestuck fan base moved on to Undertale, and unfortunately, most of the people that moved over were the really loud, toxic ones.
yeah,
And that's where a lot of the bad reputation from Undertale's fan base came from. It's the influx of Homestuck fans who had nothing to do, nothing to contribute to like the main fan base. So they just
yeah,
wanted a new thing. And then they did
yeah,
what they did with Homestuck, and they tried to get everyone into it, and tried to get everyone to play it, and everyone to watch videos on it, and people didn't want to do that. The funny
yeah.
skeleton is fine, but when you give him a dick and tell people to go read your horny fan fiction about it, they're not going to go
uh,
and want to play the original game anymore. Like,
like see, we were discussing this not that long ago, but you and me were discussing like, say if Soul Shit got really big with PTO, like all the stuff with PTO got really big,
there
and
would be porn immediately. Let's be real
yeah,
here.
I mean
Oh,
like
sorry,
if
we're not allowed to say that word on YouTube. Adult art. I'll just
uh,
dub that over in
and
post.
I was gonna say NSFW,
Yeah, I'll dub it over in post. Guna content.
in on my Twitter for like a month straight, I posted like a really dumb tweet every day for a month straight, and you saw it. It was always something
Pretty sure I
stupid.
remember. Yeah.
Yeah, and the one I stand by for is, I will know I've made it, made it big, if one of my characters I found Rule 34 of.
Because again, that's something I've been saying for years to you. It's like that's how you know that you've got fans because someone liked the things you made enough to draw their own artwork for it, and if they like it so much that they're drawing, sorry, adult artwork, then oh, I just went to check your Twitter to go and find that period of time, and I didn't realize you knew what faith was.
What, I knew what was?
Faith.
Faith. Oh, the game. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a really good art style as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, honestly, going from the really simple pixel art to the rotoscoped pixel art is, inspired.
Oh, I love it. I loved every minute of
Also,
it.
have you been posting the sorcery stuff to Twitter like at all? Because your tweets and replies end on the 8th of January, which is like 2 weeks ago.
No, not on Twitter. No,
You should have
I don't
been.
have
I'd have
that.
liked and retweeted all of them. I've liked all of the ones you posted.
Well, my plan is now, because I'm meant to be posting them on my professional Dynamic Dynamite
Ah.
page.
Oh
So
shit!
my plan
Am I
is,
following Dynamic Dynamite? I should be.
not it doesn't. I don't think it has a Twitter. But I do have a Dynamic Dynamite Instagram page, which I know you've
You
stolen off
do
me.
have a Dynamic Dynamite Twitter,
Oh,
and I'm
maybe
already
I have to
following it.
update it.
You haven't tweeted by it since
Yeah,
August 2021. Oh, sorry, July 20. Yeah, August 2021, and it was
yeah. I
showing
need
off
to.
Constance.
Yeah, I need to update that thing. Yeah, no, like Twitter, I don't really use my Twitter that much. I only use Twitter to look for art, and then that's about it. Because I used to be on Tumblr back in the heyday, and Tumblr used to be a place you could go to look for art.
I miss
In my
Tumblr.
opinion,
I miss the old
oh,
Tumblr. Yeah, actually, yeah. I should be careful what I wish
I
for.
don't miss, I don't miss
I don't
Tumblr,
miss
man.
old
Like,
Tumblr. I miss the old art scene on Tumblr.
mm,
Because missing old
like,
Tumblr means missing, like just all of the worst parts of the left.
mm,
Not to get political, I'm quite a centrist. Not gonna lie.
I,
I
I just
lean
don't
more
care.
left. I lean more left than right, but god damn, sometimes both sides are just fucking idiots.
I just don't have an opinion. I'll vote if I have to, but I just don't have an opinion. But yeah, no, like, just like the original, like back in the heyday, Tumblr had some good art.
And a lot of
Understand?
I keep saying that word. No, a lot of adult content. There we go.
You're gonna have to like.
At this point, I'm not
like,
even gonna bother
go over
editing it out. I'm just gonna fucking leave it at this point.
No.
It's not like I'm monetizable anyway.
Don't leave it out. Just censor bar. Just censor bar.
Just a beep. Not even that. Just it's like a censor bar over my fucking profile picture and nothing else.
Yeah, just that.
Don't even censor the audio.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not even gonna bother changing. It's not like I'm monetizable. It's not like I earn money through YouTube yet.
Yeah.
You know, praying eventually one day. Supplementary
like,
income that I can turn into my main source of income. You know.
Yeah. Same.
Hey, go donate to my Patreon, guys.
No, go donate to mine as well while we're at it.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, Ben's Patreon too. Yeah, of course. Fuck.
Yeah, I keep forgetting I have that too. You know.
Yeah. To be fair, I need to check mine actually because I doubt anyone subscribed to it, but just in case, I need to make sure I keep checking it so it doesn't fucking get immediately closed down again. Because when I went to reformat my Patreon for my new YouTube channel, I found that I already had one set up and they had disabled it because there was no activity for like a year.
But yeah, so like I was saying, it's just I used to use Tumblr back in the day, and like it had cool art in it, but like Tumblr doesn't really do that anymore. Every time I go on Tumblr, there's not really a lot of art to look at anymore. It's just a bunch of like comments.
Yeah, it's people trying to be funny.
Yeah, and to be fair, from time to time it is, but sometimes I think Tumblr's worse than Twitter.
Hey, that's debatable. As someone that uses Twitter quite a lot more than Tumblr, at the very least, on Tumblr, you won't get several thousand people telling you you're wrong for a factually correct statement.
I mean, like, true, but it's also a case of, like, I mean, on Tumblr, like, there'll be so many people saying so many, like, agreeing on the same thing where you just kind of, like, I want
an echo chamber
to disagree.
It's an echo chamber. Almost like Twitter. Except with Twitter, it's two echo chambers that don't want to interact with each other at all outside of spewing insults. Haha, politics. Anyway, media. Yeah, let's not get political. Or at least let's not get any more political.
I said that, like...
Yeah, you said that earlier. I would like to not get cancelled for my opinions, thank you. For my slightly controversial opinions. Not even, like, hugely controversial, just slightly.
I just don't have an opinion, man. If someone came up to me and said, what do you think of this thing? I'd either be like, it's neat, or like, oh, cool.
Ha! What do you think of immigration? Yes, it's neat that these people are spending several £100 to risk their lives to cross the English Channel. Yeah, let's not. I don't want to get called a far-right alt-right libtard, whatever. Nah, I'll leave it in, it's fine.
I don't, like, I will say...
None of the opinions in this video are his, unless they are specifically stated by him to be his opinion, and same goes for me, none of the opinions I share are mine, unless I specifically say, in my opinion, this is what's going on.
Like...
I would prefer if we didn't have the miscommunication of haha funny, like, statement being said just as a joke, being taken as a fully serious, legitimate statement.
Like, that's a thing.
No, excuse me, while I give myself lung cancer.
Like, I don't really like talking about, like, my opinions on, like, really, like, big topical things. I don't think I have enough experience to talk about those kinds of things. So when it comes to political stuff, I don't talk about it.
But you'll never get experience. You'll never get experience if you don't engross yourself in the conversation, or at the very least, keep an eye on the news. Because personally, I don't watch much news, especially not mainstream news sources, because especially in England, they are mostly operated by private companies that are funded by the Tory government. So, of course, they're gonna be a bit skewed. Let's just be honest here. Every media outlet is in some way biased. It's just how it works. But I'm not gonna name them, but my partner quite enjoys watching a few different channels on YouTube for news, like the Daily Briefing. Where they get the news about Europe and the UK and the States and just worldwide news in general. They watch. Let me just minimize the video they were watching last, because A Different Bias is another one they watch, which is a British guy. I don't agree with everything he says. Not gonna lie, he's a bit of a nut sometimes, but he's at least good at pointing out the hypocrisy in the government. And then there was also there was another one whose like icon is a fucking guillotine.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
But while you're looking
Viva
for
la
that, I
Revolution.
will.
I'm not gonna look for it. I'm just like yeah, he
Well, I
watches
was
quite a
just
few.
gonna. I was just gonna say, like, when it comes
Oops, just
to.
outed myself.
Oh boy. But like, I will say this, just like, my opinion. Will I don't want to. It's like affect anyone else's. So, everyone else can have their own opinion on things. Me personally, my view on life will always be as long as you're not hurting anyone, as long as you're not trying to force it on anyone either, and it's not hurting you or anyone else then it's fine.
Believe what you want to believe.
Yeah,
Just don't push it on
um,
others.
exactly.
Don't be
But
that asshole.
don't be that asshole. Be
Don't
the
be
dick.
that guy. Don't be that guy. You know who I mean. I'm talking about Uncle Fred, who shows up at Thanksgiving every year and just spews their political opinions everywhere. Don't be that guy.
Don't be Uncle Fred.
Be like Jane. Jane just sits there
but
silently and occasionally brings up the last sports event that happened.
but
Ha, sports
yeah,
ball.
as you said before, Evangelion. I will say this: Evangelion was also a big inspiration behind my art style as well.
It's hard to tell. Well, it's kind of easier to see in the designs you use for clothing more than it is in your character
Yes,
design.
yeah, not the actual character design, but the clothing. The clothing was a big
You took your
inspiration
fashion
behind
inspiration
Evangelion.
from Evangelion. I took my fashion inspiration from JoJo. We are not the same.
Hey, we are not the same. But like, yeah, I
Nah, my
really
fashion
liked.
inspiration comes from Homestuck. Plain t-shirt with a symbol on it.
Yeah. Oh, if you want to talk about like going into an anime blind and just like wondering what all the hype's about, Evangelion was that for me.
Same. Well, actually, yeah, I
Like,
went into it basically blind. The only thing I knew was, spoilers, Shinji and Asuka. That was the only thing I knew about. And I went into it, and I got to that episode, and I was like, oh boy!
yeah.
Can't wait to see
Oh,
how this affects the plot. And then I think that they mentioned
oh,
the Spear of Longinus once, and that was the end of where I started, where I was watching.
well, like I only got into it because Netflix was advertising it because it's on
Yeah, it's on
Netflix. It's
Netflix.
dubbed by a couple of
Everyone,
YouTube.
go watch it on Netflix. It's There's someone who hasn't even finished it. It's a good show. It's a very good show.
Yeah, but
It was very inspirational to
like,
quite a lot of media nowadays as well.
mm,
Like you don't think about that
but
kind of thing until you look back.
yeah, but I went and watched Evangelion like not knowing what the hell it was about. All I knew was there was this giant purple thing, and that was
The
it.
Eva.
And I went and watched it. Yeah, and I went and watched it, and I was like, "Oh, cool! The fight's about to start." First episode ends before the fight starts. I'm like, oh, "Okay." And then
Typical Dragon Ball pacing.
yeah, and then the second, I was like, "I guess that's just how it's written." It's a good pilot. I enjoyed it, and then the second episode is like my favorite episode of all of Evangelion is the second episode,
That's
and
not a good thing. If
I
your personal idea of the peak of Evangelion is episode 2, that does not reflect very well on the series as a whole.
oh, I was gonna say it's my favorite. I don't think it's the peak. I don't think it's the best of
Fairer.
Evangelion. It's my personal favorite.
Much more
because
fair.
because I love the storytelling in that episode where it makes you think that okay, spoilers, that
It's
Shinji
episode 2, who
fails.
gives a shit?
Yeah, that it makes you think Shinji fails, and then like somehow the monster was defeated off screen while he was unconscious.
Oh yeah, because they
But
don't even
it
show you
turns
the fight until later on, do they?
yeah, they don't show you the fight until the very end of the episode because Shinji mentally repressed it. That's how bad it was.
We
And
have an
you
unreliable
actually-
narrator. I love it
Yeah,
when stuff does that.
Yeah, and I love at the end you actually see the fight, and the fight is really good. It starts.
He just
off
loses
like,
his shit.
yeah,
His mommy
and
protects him. Spoilers.
I just like yeah, that was something I was not expecting either. Like,
Same.
oh,
That was something I found out like before getting to that point in the series, and I was just like, wait, what? He's
yeah,
piloting his
yeah,
mother? What?
yeah. The thing was though, I didn't know that before the episode came up, and that was like mind blown. But at the same time, what?
But at the same time, it makes so much more sense as to why he's just
Yeah.
so adept at controlling that particular EVA unit.
But like I was looking back on it, and like certain lines he says in it, I'm just like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, that's why they said that.
Honestly,
He was just a little kid.
sign of a good plot. The fact that if you go back and watch it again, you still have new realizations and notice new things.
Although looking back on it, I'm surprised I didn't connect the dots sooner when Shinji says it's like being in a womb.
Yeah, that is kind of a bit of
Yeah.
blatant foreshadowing.
Yeah, it's like I feel very warm here.
Uh,
And then like, and don't forget, like one of the people that they try and set Shinji up with is his own mom.
I still think the most hilarious part of that series to me is I forget her name, the drunk bitch that basically becomes Shinji's
Oh,
surrogate mother,
Masato.
Misato. Yeah, the fact that
I like her.
the very first interaction we see her have with another person is her saying, "I'm not going to try anything with Shinji. He's a minor. That's fucked up." And then the very first scene we see of her with him, she's flirting with him and trying to get him drunk.
Yep.
Like, damn,
And like
Misato.
that's yeah, damn Masato. Like,
It's very
like I've
uncomfortable.
had
It's an uncomfortable
yeah.
series as a whole, but that's why
That's the point of
that's a lot
it.
of people like it. It's like it pushes the boundaries of what the audience are comfortable with seeing.
Yeah, and
Another series that does that I quite like is Black Lagoon.
oh, Black Lagoon.
I
I've only
actually
seen like
rewatched
the
it.
first
I
two episodes.
rewatched it recently. It's fucking great. The
Like,
the dynamic between Rokuro Okajima or Rock,
yeah,
the main, like arguably the mainest of main characters for the series.
yeah,
The dichotomy of Japanese businessman getting kidnapped and turned into a pirate, like it leaves a
I know.
lot. And then you've got Revi, who
Yep,
is quite literally just a fucking psychopath. Like she doesn't
yep,
even hide it. Uh,
yep.
love me some Benny Boy, my Jewish American. Like just
Yeah.
the fact he gets lucky as well. Oh, you've got to watch the whole season for that. And then
I need to watch the
last
series.
but not least, Dutch.
Mm.
There is an
Ah,
episode where Dutch and Revi are fighting against a ship of literal neo Nazis, and
oh, of course.
Revi is just doing her thing, going around killing people. To quote the show, showing them why she's called Two Hands, which is such a
Yeah.
fucking lame nickname for a gunman. Let's be real here.
What
And
was the name
Dutch,
again? Sorry.
Two Hands,
Two
because
hands.
she
Oh yeah.
shoots two guns at once. Like, wow, there's totally not something that showed up in like basically every other
Yeah.
media with guns.
You can just
But
call it
Dutch,
a duel.
yeah, Dutch's interaction with the captain of that ship, and also the old original Nazi that was paying both him
Mm.
and the Nazis, the neo Nazis, to collect the painting they were after. His interaction with them
Yeah.
was indicative of his character so well because
Mm.
he treats it as a polite conversation, even though the person he's speaking to outright says, "Look, I hate everything about you people because they're Nazis, they're racist, and Dutch is black."
Yeah, of course.
At one point, they even call him a chocolate man,
Oh.
which is that's my favorite sentence. But the
I haven't
fact,
actually watched the entire
yeah,
series, but
but in
yeah.
this particular episode, we see an actual guy who was part of the original Nazi army say, "I respect the work you have done, black man. If you were born white, I would have happily recruited you." And that is a great
Oh.
character moment. Especially with Dutch immediately turning around and saying, "Fuck off, you Nazi fuck. Kill yourself, you Nazi fuck."
Oh, nice. I can stand by that one.
Same. Fuck Nazis.
uh,
Both old school and neo.
just any.
If your entire ideology hinges on the belief that one particular group of people is superior to everyone else, you're just a fucking idiot. Everyone has flaws,
Yeah.
everyone has problems. Each race, while they do have subtle differences, is not inherently better than any other.
Yeah.
Like
But like
white
back
people
on
tend to be
back
better at
to
dealing
the
with cold.
yeah.
That's like one of the only things we're good at.
Yeah. But back to like other shows, like anime wise, that I've watched that inspired the art style. I'll say is again like Fate has recently. I like if you look it up, Joey, I'd recommend looking up at Mordred's armor. She definitely.
I'll give it the series a look.
Yeah.
It's a lot of content to sit through, but I'll give it a look.
Yeah.
I might get like 2 episodes in and then just give up, but you never know. I might actually watch the whole thing. I might spend one whole night or an entire 24-hour period just binge watching the series.
We'll never. Well, boy, it will take more than one night.
I was going to say, it's not that we'll never know, it's more that we'll find out. We'll see.
But another inspiration for like art styles and like just storytelling in general is my favorite video game of all time, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, yes! Fucking love that game.
Brilliant game.
Have you got the DLC yet?
Oh, mate, I already beat it.
Have you got the DLC?
What, for Breath of the Wild?
Yeah.
Well, like the one hit challenge you have to do.
Both DLC packs.
Yeah, I texted you as I did it.
Oh, so you did the the Champions Ballad, but did you do the Master Trials?
Yeah.
Oh shit,
All of them.
I haven't even beat the Master Trials
I
yet.
have the bike.
No. The Master Trials is the second DLC thing where you go into the Master Sword.
Yeah.
It's like clearing, I think it's like 20, 30 levels of a dungeon without any equipment other than what you can scavenge from the actual dungeon. It's
Yeah, totally.
very hard. Uh, I
Oh yeah, I know.
I didn't beat it, but I did load up a file on Master Mode instead, and I'm currently working my way through that. Breath of the Wild is one of those
Yeah, so
few amazing games where I can just boot it up on a file I've already beaten all of the shrines on and just wander around and dick around in the world.
yeah, it's
Props,
one of those things
props
that
to
like you can
Nintendo.
just sit and relax.
Yeah, props to
Yeah,
Nintendo for
I,
making such a comfy game that can still instill the fear of God in you. Because nothing
yeah,
terrifies you more than gliding off of a tower into Central Hyrule and immediately noticing a little red dot on your character.
yeah.
Like, oh shit,
Um.
Guardians!
Oh no. But
It's like, yeah, you may
I
get better at taking them down, but they're never not scary.
but okay, so like Breath of the Wild is my number one game that heavily inspired my art style. In terms of color scheme, however, for art styles, I will say my favorite color scheme is white, blue, and yellow slash orange. I'll say like a golden orange, and that was because of Portal.
Ah, I
I
was
love
recently
that
watching.
art.
I love Paul. Paul's great. Thanks, Valve. Make more
Valve
games,
is just
please. Please,
Valve
Valve.
is just
Please.
brilliant. Valve, I'm
Oh,
begging you here.
hold on.
You're busting my balls. But yeah, no, like Valve was a massive inspiration to me, like, because I want someday for Dynamic Dynamite to be like a media version of Valve. You know, like the desk what we can support ourselves well enough because our desks have wheels, kind of thing. If you get what I mean. So yeah, that's just but like I'm a massive fan of just like Portal in general. It's just a brilliant game with a brilliant story. It's simple. The first one's simple, and you can wrap your head around it. The second one has the best story, like one of the best stories I've seen in a video game. I will say that I think the story for Portal 2 is like a better story than Breath of the Wild. But Breath of the Wild is such a brilliant game that I had to put it like number one in Portal 2 as my second favorite game. It's just oh man, I just really like it. But like that's the thing about like different forms of media, like different forms of it can always like inspire different like things for what you want to do and all that. Like for me, like Sonic Mania's color scheme is brilliant. Like that cinema based, theater based, level. I forgot what it's called, but that art style is amazing and it's beautiful. And then what else? There's other games as well.
What about Sonic
But like,
Heroes?
uh, we don't. I mean, like, I I like Sonic Heroes. I do. I wish there was another like Sonic Heroes style game for the Sonic franchise. But it's just all I can remember of that game like visually because that game like visually gives me a headache. I really like I like the first level. I think that's Seaside Hill. I think I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. But like I
I do
like
not
the look
remember.
of that. I like the look of that. But I'm not a fan of the rest of it, especially the casino world. That hurts my eyes. Every casino level, aside from like Sonic Advance in the Sonic games, hurts my eyes. Like it's just too
Could
much.
you consider Studiopolis a casino zone?
Is Studiopolis the cinema based one in Sonic Mania?
Yes.
Because yeah, because I mentioned that earlier, and I love that one, but I wouldn't count it as a Studiopolis because that actually knows how to do color scheming well. That knows how to make sure you don't get a headache. Um,
Ma-
but yeah,
Mania
like
in general.
yeah, Mania in general is just brilliant. The intro to Mania is also a big inspiration. That's also done by Tyson Hess, who I mentioned earlier. That's a big inspiration for my art. In fact, learning how to draw Sonic was also really helpful in making characters later. Was because of him for me. Um, Not saying I'm great at them, but I can draw an okay Sonic. But yeah, like My Hero Academia as well was a big inspiration as well. That definitely, if you look at that, you can see that inspiration.
Oh god, my hero.
Yeah, My Hero I think is a really good one. But yeah, no, that's just that's a couple of them. Like
I
art
couldn't
style
even get past
inspiration. See,
season 2. I didn't even get past season 2 of My Hero.
I mean, like I could get past it. I thought it was very fun. I like I like superheroes. So to see like an anime take on that in a high school thing. I think it's brilliant. And
But
on the
Deku
kind of
is such a
Spider-Man.
whiny bitch.
So was Buddy Peter Parker when he started. Have you read any original
No,
comics?
Peter was a wisecracking jackass. At least he had
In
humor.
Spider-Man.
Deku is just a pussy.
Deku has his moments, all right, but I stand by like, yeah, he was a wisecracking asshole. But have you read some of them? Like, he's just a narcissistic bastard in the original issues.
I mean, you know I haven't read many comics.
Well, now if I ever set up on this show again, that's guess what we're talking about. But
Actually, that's a good idea. We might have to cut this short because I'm no longer alone. So
no problem, man. So do you want to sign us off? Yeah, maybe. Part two of whatever this show is called. And please, yeah, please follow Joey and me and everyone. Have a good day. I hope to be uploading on a schedule at some point, but I can't promise shit. Well, thank you for having me, Joey. I hope to see you again soon. All right. Bye everybody.